David, Felipe Esparza
Yes.
is a great stand-up comedian. Our guest today on Fly on the Wall.
Mm-hmm. Good dude. I actually was quite entertained by him. He had a great story, and that was one of the ones I have to say I'm not tight with, but I think you had met him, and I was introduced to him through you as far as his comedy. And then when I looked him up, I thought, oh my God, this guy has been around doing great. And it's just one of those blind spots when you're not in the same places as people, but he has a huge career.
Huge following. His story is so interesting because he came through the border illegally years ago with his mom and his brother. And I think his brother had to be dressed up as a girl or something. But anyway, his stories of how he got to America and how he started his career in America and how he's become so successful is just a great ride. And he's funny and charming as well. I think you're going to really like him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a great time talking to him. He's a good-looking dude. If that matters to anyone, does to me. Does every
he looks very people. Young for his age, and he has a great head of hair. We couldn't get over.
Yeah, cool hair and a good attitude, and I had a lot of fun with him. So hope you like it. Here he is.
It's Felipe. I just thought of a rich person's metric. Or people have a little extra money. Either you go to a salon, you go to a barber shop to get a haircut, or the haircutter person comes to you.
Right.
It's the first sign of having a couple extra bucks in your pocket.
Also, depending on who you're working with too, because in Comedy Central they'll have like a hairstylist. But when you're working with like BET or Def Jam, there's like two barbers there from the hood. And they're giving you
there's a barber shop on the set.
You don't even know what's going on. You sit down and go, and you hear the comedian go, "Give me a Chicago fade."
I've heard that.
And I'm like, I have long hair. Give me a Cholo number 5.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Cholo
and you don't
number
get any
5.
kind of food product with that. You just get hair done. There's no sense of any sort of food with that. A Chole.
Yeah. When I first started stand-up, my hair was really short, like a gang member.
Mm-hmm.
It was really short. And then, I used to get pulled over on the way home, so I just started letting it grow. And I just let it grow, and then I haven't cut it yet.
What length is it past gang member?
Yeah, when does the length of the hair reduce being pulled over?
Oh man, you gotta be like Bill Burr.
Yeah, officer, I wasn't fucking speeding here, all right? I'm going to the fucking Comedy Store, all right? He's aggressive, that Bill.
Listen, give me some pickles.
Yeah. You know what drives me out of my fucking mind? Meter maids. Get a fucking car. I don't need a golf cart. Give me a parking ticket, you fucking meter maid, metalhead. Anyway, that's kind of Bill Barber. I used to do that. I used to do just East Coast stand-up. But so for our audience, why don't we just quickly go where you came from and who you are is extraordinary. So we've never had a guest quite with your story. So don't be shy. But
don't be shy.
You grew up in Mexico and you made your way to America, and you're incredibly successful. You played giant places, have a huge amount of fans. So it's just kind of an American dream, would you call it, or a Mexican dream, or what is it? How are you processing?
I got here when I was like 4 years old or 5. My brothers and I, with my mom, we came here illegally. My father was already here living in America, and so were all my dad's relatives. They were working for Warner Brothers. It's funny, they all had jobs putting the record inside of the cardboard. They were at the record pressing company.
Oh, fascinating. That's someone has to do it.
Man.
Yeah. Dude, it's not bad. I'm telling you, Felipe, I used to work when I moved to LA. I tried stand-up. Of course, I wasn't doing that well because I'm in Glendale, putting the A-Team dolls in boxes in a warehouse to send to anyone who ordered one. But it was kind of boring. But every day I'm like, did they want they want the A-Team actual figure? They also want the headband. Nope, they didn't order that. So I'd have to figure out from the order what they wanted. Tape it up physically. So I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm just going to say it. I pity the fool.
You pity me for sure.
Mr. T.
I used to work at the back of North Broadway, where the Broadway warehouse used to be, and I used to separate all the clothes hangers, the plastic ones.
Oh yeah, you got to keep them separated.
So I was in a room full of hangers, bro. Like the whole room with hangers, and my friend and I would just get high during lunch and start grabbing hangers all day.
Okay. I had those type of jobs are just mind numbing. You have to do so. We used to take Dexatrim to wake up. It was like so stupid, but anything.
Did you ever grab your friend by the scruff of his neck and say, "We got to get out of here, man"?
I can't hang here no more. I don't know.
Good night.
I can't do it. I can't hang.
So when you came across the border, okay, illegally, I'm not going to judge, came across illegally. How hard was that? And how old were you? Were you scared? You had your little brother with you, right? Was it scary?
We were kids. I don't remember being scared. I remember being caught. And we made it because we made it through the border, like right there around San Isidro, the border. We made it through there, but there was another checkpoint. Like I guess they were Minutemen or something, but there was like the sheriff, the San Clemente Sheriff Department, or somebody there was an extra checkpoint that city made. So they were randomly stopping cars that were on the 5 South, on the 5 North.
Right. Yeah,
I guess. So they stopped us, and our driver was he was a Mexican travel agent, a wild coyote,
He was a coyote, a travel agent coyote.
My friend Rodrigo said, "Yeah, man, it was a Mexican travel agent." So he was American. They let him go. And my mom and my brothers and I, we got arrested. And my mom was released to go back to Mexico. And then we were released like 3 hours later. And we crossed the border and we stood there another month, figuring out plan B. Then we borrowed our cousins' passports. And it was 2 boys and 1 girl on the passport. And my mom looked at my little brother, and said, "Well, I guess you're going to have to be Pati."
Start growing your hair.
What did you do to make him look like his passport photo? I mean,
oh man, he had to wear a dress for a whole week just to get in character.
Getting character.
Getting character.
Yeah, man. He went all into it, man. And when we got to the border, they had like makeup on him and a little dress. And they asked him, "What's your name?" He goes, "My name is Pati." And he's gay now, but you know what? He took one for the team. Yeah. That's all that matters.
That was nice.
Okay. We'll get that's a whole other podcast. Yeah, okay. He's gay now, starring Felipe. Nothing wrong with any of that. But so was it?
He's a hard top, by the way.
You're looking at your mom as the adult and she's like sinking. Are you reading her feelings at that moment? Like, oh shit, we're getting caught. But then really determined, a month later, you go back and then you do this thing and now you're in America.
Yeah.
And?
Yeah. When do you figure out like you've got this gift of gab for laughter? Took a while,
we didn't know, we didn't know everything we did back then was bad. Nobody like sat us down and said, "Hey, everything you did was bad. Don't do it again." And we didn't know we were illegal, man. I remember calling kids illegal, and I was illegal. I remember telling kids go back to El Salvador or go back to wherever you came from, and I should be going with them. My mom would just tell us, "Listen, when you come out of school, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to anybody, just run home."
Jesus, no matter what you're doing in life, just run back home after.
Run back home.
Scary.
Wow. How long did that go on? That kind of fear? When did it turn for you? I mean,
I don't know. I guess when we were in America for a while, and we went back to Mexico to take care of some paperwork, and then we crossed the border, and we went to we went back. We crossed the border, and we went to the section for illegal immigrants, but not the deported ones, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we had Mexican IDs, and we filed for green cards right there.
How scary. So you went in, it was almost like admitting it. So you're like, here, we're going illegal. 'Cause it's hard to get back second time, I'm sure.
So we had a bunch of I don't know what we did to. I know that we had to leave. We had to we self-deported, I guess. Well, what we did first, we went back to Mexico on our own when we went back, and then I guess like a week later, we all came in illegally.
How scary though to go back and go. We know once we go back, that could be it.
Yeah, I forgot that part. I never mentioned that part about our voyage, that we actually self-deported ourselves.
Yeah.
For no reason, and then we decided to come back in the legal way.
And what, growing up in Mexico to that age, and then what was your vibe of America? And I kind of want to know, did you go to Disneyland? I mean, what was it like?
Oh man. First of all, when we got here, the coolest thing was that the bathroom was inside the house, because our bathroom was an outhouse.
And you were, that was
okay, so banyo.
An inside bathroom, blew your mind. Okay.
Yeah, man. And we could flush the toilet.
Do you ever miss an outhouse?
We could flush toilet paper inside the toilet. We couldn't do that at and some houses in Mexico, they'll tell you, hey, don't flush anything down the toilet.
Literally anything, not even poop. Nothing.
Anything, bro. Put it in a little pocket.
Did you have? Yeah, that's funny because
Did you? When did you kind of sort of feel American, or what was that?
I think when we were in kindergarten, we went to elementary school, kindergarten, and all the kids were speaking English, and I was the only one who didn't speak English well. But I caught on fast. I started watching American shows. That's all we watched. And we didn't know how to pronounce a lot of words with they had a K in the middle for some reason. Like we didn't know how to say bionic or binoculars or any word with a C in the middle like that.
Yeah,
it was hard for us to pronounce, because my brother would call bionic woman lion woman.
So what were you watching? I'm sorry. What shows?
Oh, we would watch all the shows that were on CBS. For some reason, man, that channel would come in looking good on a TV with no antenna.
Crispy.
Yeah. So we have no antenna, so whatever channels look good, I guess it was Channel 9, Telemundo, of course. Telemundo, you could break your television, unplug it, and Telemundo will still come off HD.
What do people say they learn from watching TV? I've been overseas. I don't learn anything from watching a foreign language, but it must be easy, I guess, to pick up phrases, or how do you do that?
Yeah, we watch a lot of movies. My dad, he liked watching movies, so we would go to drive-ins a lot. And he liked Clint Eastwood and Steve McQueen and Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
Charles Bronson. My dad would wear the beanie just like him, even though he was not a vigilante. And he always look at us and go, "Oh, dirty
Charles Bronson."
I saw it. Yeah. Yeah. Charles Bronson used to be a big impression to do in the clubs in the 70s.
Bronson.
There were some good ones.
You couldn't do it, of all people.
Well, I didn't get excited about it. I took basically Spanish for like 8 years. And all I know is Donde está la biblioteca? ¿Cómo está? Y tú, muy bien, gracias.
That's a lot.
Mucho trabajo.
That's mucho.
Because we work with a lot of people from south of the border. We have skilled gardeners, all kinds of people. So
yeah, but I wouldn't take their Spanish for granted, because my dad, he dropped out of school in the sixth grade.
Mm-hmm.
So his Spanish is pretty much basically as good as any American speaking Spanish.
Is it Spanglish? Is that a real thing where it's like
I don't
sort of a
know, man.
mix?
And where I grew up, they call it Chicanics. So there's a mixture of Chicano and English.
Ebonics to
Like
Chicanics.
Chicanics. Hey man, hire the radio.
Hire the radio.
Yeah. Or they say, oh, it makes English and Spanish. Oh, right now tengo un gran headache. You know what I mean?
Grande, yeah. I know some. Look at that.
Being bilingual and working in both languages, which we get to it, first one to do a special in both languages. What can you tell us about English and Spanish? I mean, is one more romantic? Is one easier, lands harder laughs for you when you do your set in Spanish? Or is it just, it's something we have no experience with.
In one language and they kill the other language.
The phrasing and the timing in English and Spanish is different, right? I mean.
Well, what happened with me was that a lot of the words that I was speaking in Spanish were Chicanics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like words that along Mexican Americans in the Southwest have used as Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to Mexico, those words don't even exist in the Spanish language.
Oh.
Like when I was saying fix my brakes in English, and in Spanish I would add an AS, arregla mis brecas, and brecas is not even a Spanish word.
Oh, it's like a fake word for brakes.
I don't know how to say brakes in Spanish. Yeah. Apparently, I was just saying because I know that white people they add an O after every English word when they can't know what to say, like your son is not doing his homework. You know?
Yeah, I did that in Italy.
Yeah, people do that.
We had AS in the beginning when we don't know English. We're like Sprite, you know, or Brecas. Excuse me.
So
I had to go to Mexico and I actually started off open micing in Spanish first, and I started building up a set so I got to 1 hour when I was comfortable in Mexico.
Wait, so in Mexico you're doing a Spanish set, basically of things everyone can relate to there, and then you come over after that's an hour's a lot.
Yeah, I translated my jokes first of the hour in English into in their language they could understand.
Okay.
Except some words were play on words, so I had to get rid of the whole joke.
Yeah, for sure.
And by the way, this is on Netflix right now. It was done 2020. Bad Decisions, English Spanish versions.
Translate this, and it's called Malas Decisiones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? When I was in Tijuana, Mexico, a lot of the audience were people that were deported by all the previous presidents. So there's people there that were deported by President Obama. There were people there deported from Bush. People deported from
Clinton. I don't know.
Clinton. A lot of Clinton gang members.
Was that like a thing? Hey, I'm a Clinton, man. I'm a Clinton deported me.
You got me.
Did you hang out with the people that were deported by your president?
Yes. And I went hung out with a bunch of military Marines that were deported during the last administration. Like there's a whole neighborhood with nothing but deportee military people, like people from that fought in Korea, people who fought in the Gulf War, people who fought in Afghanistan, Iraq, but somehow they got deported
and then get deported after they do that. That's horrible.
Well, some of these guys have PTSD, so they never really fixed their papers, and some of them are not with it, but they were not born in America, but they were promised citizenship.
Sure.
And some of them didn't go file. I know there's one guy that I spoke to. He's 74. He got pulled over in Echo Park because there was a shooting in Echo Park, and he was coming out of the grocery store with a gallon of milk, and the police they pulled everybody to the side in that area, and they were checking everybody's IDs, and he didn't even know he had a deport on site on his ID. So He went straight to Mexico. He didn't call his family.
Oh
And he
man,
was 74.
Yeah.
74, and he thinks he's done with all that, and then they just
He
deport
didn't
him.
seem like the danger is still
Wow.
there.
What's your advice for people in south of our border now with Trump in there? Stay away, come in, try to come legally. I mean, what do you?
Oh man, if you're gonna be here in America illegally, first of all, don't hang around with no gang members. Don't hang around with anybody with a bald head, anybody with a low rider.
Right.
Go to work and come straight home.
Mm.
Straight home. Tell your kids too. Don't hang around with bad people. Just do your job and just live like a normal citizen. And if you're gonna be driving no driver license, man, I will stop at every red light and look both ways.
Even the green ones.
So just be boring, and be simple.
Be boring, and they won't get deported. They won't deport you.
Right. I mean, ideally, the idea is to get really horrible troublemakers out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see getting caught in a crossfire of just.
Say again?
I became a U.S. citizen in October.
Really?
Oh, good job.
Wow. After all the specials and all the success, still they held you out, you know? One thing I was kind of interested, I don't know if you want to go in this direction, but at some point you were kind of seduced by gang life or went in a gang and went through all that. So what was that like? Was it hilarious?
When I was a kid, I hung out with a bunch of kids that were into breakdancing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we would go to Venice Beach and compete with other kids. But I was never good at breakdancing, but I was good at shoplifting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
So I was like in charge of merch. So I was in charge of stealing all the white gloves for people, and I would sell them to them.
I used to carry the cardboard in my breakdancing group.
So after breakdancing died out, and then crack cocaine moved into our neighborhood, all my friends got into the same gang except me. And then they were all like 16 years old, 17, and I avoided them forever till I turned 19. I was 20 years old. I was too old to be in a gang, but they still jumped me in.
Oh, Dana, it's funny because in this movie, Busboys, when we join to be a busboy, we get jumped in. And then one time I quit for an hour and I had to get jumped in again. I'm like, God, I quit for 1 hour. And they're like, that's, the rules.
Spade's doing a movie.
I had a joke about that when people were leaving California to live somewhere else. I said, you're leaving California, you should get jumped out first.
Yeah, see, Dana, we know all the
lingo. I don't know the lingo. His movie with Theo Vaughn is you guys flee to Mexico or something, right?
No, we get stuck at the border on the way to Mexico. We try to go to Mexico. But we can't get across, so we work at a little restaurant
on the border,
America, and we want to be waiters, so we get job as busboys first to move up in 3 days, but it takes years because we're not any good. But yeah, everyone there is Spanish. I mean, most of the cast because we're right there.
Should have Felipe in that movie, man.
We should have actually. I didn't even know about
He's
Felipe.
too busy. So
you could have turned it down. It would have been great.
So. Wherever you want to go, but I mean, you're in gang stuff. You get to America. I mean, I just like, when did you do your first set in America? Where was it?
Oh, it was in 1993 probably, or 94 at the Natural Fudge Theater, and it's on Fountain Avenue in Silver Lake.
The Natural Fudge Theater.
Street from that church that Tom Cruise goes to.
Oh yeah, Scientology.
Yeah, that one.
I know it well.
Yeah.
That church, that huge building. You mean that monstrosity, huge monster?
Yes, right across the street from that is a theater. It's called the Fountain Theater now, but it was called the Natural Fudge. It was a vegan
studio.
It was a vegan vegetarian coffee shop. I have no idea that it was vegan till after I left. So it was an open mic on Monday nights with punk rock music. So they have two comedians go up, and then when the comedians are performing, the punk band is behind them setting up their band.
Oh my God!
So then like two bands will perform punk music, and then while they're taking their shit down, three more comedians were performing, And that was,
for the
yeah,
punk audience, which is probably not the best.
yeah, it was a lot of punk, Hollywood Runaways, like kids. I think it was 18 and over.
It
I
seems
met
like a rowdy
Jamie
crowd.
Kennedy there.
Jamie Kennedy,
good.
yeah. Great
I
comic.
met Jamie Kennedy there, Alonzo Bowden, Brian Holtzman. Met a lot of people there.
Do you remember that
Mooney
first set?
Twins.
Do you remember what line killed? Did you have a bit that worked, or were you humiliated, or what
No.
was it like?
I had a line that killed, but it was oh, I said that this is Romeo and Juliet if it was shot in my neighborhood. And then I pretended Romeo was like a crackhead, like I was shaking, with my elbows. I was acting like a crackhead,
Right.
and I was biting my fingers, and I was looking at the floor like a crackhead does, taking rocks to see if they're real.
Of course.
And then I would say,
Of course.
and I was yelling out, Julia, you fucking bitch! Where's the fucking pipe?
That sounds like it would get a big laugh in a rowdy club. It's high energy.
Yeah, it got a laugh there from the people that were homeless, and then the owner of the place, his name was Johnny Roberts. He had a local access show at Tuesdays at 10 p.m. on Channel 3 on some cable network.
Yeah.
It was just a free public access show, and I didn't know what public access was. I didn't have cable. He walked up to me and goes, "Kid, that was amazing. I want you to be in my show. We tape every Wednesday morning. It's a big comedy show." I thought I made it, right? I thought it was gonna be like one of those.
Yeah.
You thought it was evening at the Apollo,
but it was local access, and I looked at the way other comedians were dressed, and I went to a thrift store and I bought like a 80s, like a coat, a jacket, and I was trying to find a tie to wear like an 80s comic, but I couldn't find anything. And then the guy at the thrift store, he said, "I don't have a tie, but try this on." And I didn't know what it was. Then I remember somebody told me it's called I don't know what bobo or I don't know what it was.
Bolo tie. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a metal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I look like Fosse Bear if you were Native American.
That's a good look.
So,
but that sounds like a big deal, though. You're on a TV show, so it's not a big deal. But in your head, it's a compliment. Like, hey, I did a set. They're asking me to come on this show.
We all did that era. I mean,
you should have a show called Loco Access.
Loco Access, yeah.
It's not bad.
So I met these guys there, and then they told me to go to another place that does comedy on Saturday nights called Waldo's Comedy Station. And then I was right on Highland. Back then it was called a Hollywood Hotel. So we did comedy there, and then I finally made it to the Comedy Store.
How much longer? Oh, to do audition for Mitzi? How'd that go?
Yeah.
Or the original room?
Was it Mitzi back then?
Yeah, it was 5 years later. I think it was like 90.
Oh shit!
Or something.
98.
Mitzi's still there in her booth. This Comedy Store is huge. What happened?
Comedy Store is huge, but not that many people are going to the Comedy Store back then.
Not like now, in a way.
Yeah. Not like now. Oh, dead. There was comedians there that they used to bring their dogs on stage. I mean, back then, man. It was like if you wanted to be a comedian, like if you stuck around those days, you're probably doing well right now because I remember it was like so many people were getting bumped when I first started off, like really bumped. Like I remember there was a big showcase and a bunch of comedians. They were supposed to be seen by Mitzi Shore, and she didn't show up, so the showcase was canceled. But there was a lot of people who actually made that trip from other parts of the country.
Yeah, sure. To audition.
I'm from Los Angeles, man. I only took one bus, and nobody knew what I was doing. But there were people that from Jersey. They called their parents, and then the Dice Man shows up and does 5 hours on the stage. They didn't even get to go up.
Dice?
Dice?
Andrew Dice Clay?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, I put the cigarette out on the rise. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This
We know.
chick sucking my
5 hours
dick.
on stage. And then, like,
5 hours.
I was waiting. I didn't leave, right? I said, I'll go up. And then
After
Eddie
4,
Griffin
I'm out of
shows up. He does 4 hours.
Who?
Eddie Griffin.
Oh, Eddie
Is
Griffin.
this a fucking marathon?
4.
He does 4 hours.
So it's a 9-hour
like,
show. You've seen 2 comics. Okay, who's next?
Yeah, and then at 1:45 in the morning, bro. I go up at 1:45, right before Robert William Abadaya.
Oh.
Did you say, I only have 2.5 hours of material because I'm new?
Yeah. It's like 3 minutes.
Did you?
Dude, let's do a side note, Dana.
Sure.
For the people listening, it's not crazy to think, because I was from Arizona, and if someone said, Mitzi, we'll see you this Monday, I would fly out. It's too important to have someone in the business see you or Bud Friedman at the Improv. So that's a really, really big deal. I understand why everyone came. And if she casually didn't show up, what a heartbreaker.
And also, we all got bumped up in San Francisco where I started. You know, they'd say Robin's here, the great Robin Williams. And I thought I was going to maybe have a 9:30 spot. And then Robin would do 3 hours. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, someone's on acid. Oh, look. Oh, a spaceship. Look.
Oh, it's a Frisbee.
But anyway, he was brilliant. And he would I call it levitate the room. He would kill so hard that you're like, fuck, I got to work harder. Did you see someone early in that time and went, damn, that guy or woman is at another level? Did you have somebody who kind of blew you away and made you want to get better, right?
I saw, what's his name? Dane Cook.
Dane Cook and Dane Cook World when he became
kind of at his height.
He was doing Sufi.
Okay.
Whatever it was, Sufi.
What was it? Okay. I don't know the bit, but it looks funny.
I like it.
He's flipping you off.
He was saying, he had a bit about, I don't know how to do him, but he'll be like, you know how people they flip you off.
Oh, I see.
And they go, fuck you.
That's right.
But fuck that. It should be a super fuck you called Sufi.
Oh yeah, he told us about this, Dana.
Yeah,
I think like that, right?
Yeah, he did that, and he would storm around the stage. He was super physical, hyper confident, really clear with his jokes, and he's that highly skilled to follow that. You know.
Yeah, and I remember people would have it tattooed. Women would have it tattooed on the back of their butt like a stamp, the Sufi.
Oh boy.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't run into any of those.
When did you have women trying to hit on you, or what? I know you're happily married now. We don't want to go into it, but some women love funny men.
Hell yeah, man! I have people tattooed my name on their back. I'm not even famous.
Sure.
You had a young lady.
You look.
Yeah.
By the way, he looks young. I thought you were like 28 or something.
I had a woman in Las Vegas. She told me to autograph her arm, and she was like 21, and I was like 40. And I tattooed. I wrote my name sloppy on her arm, right? Mm-hmm. She had a little chubby arm, you know. My pen was getting
it's hard to do.
Yeah, so I wrote Felipe on it, and then later on, she sent me a photo of her in a thong with not showing her boobs, but showing her ass, and then her arm, and she had tattooed right there, Felipe.
She tattooed over your autograph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something people do. I like that.
You want to bring her home to mom. That's somebody, you know.
Hell yeah, man.
Especially with her next boyfriend.
So also,
that was cool.
So
you're at least 40. That's
so you're
good.
45. You look 27 now.
Yeah, you do look young.
No, I'm not 45. I'm 55.
Get out of town.
I just told Dana you look so young. I don't know.
Black don't crack, beige don't age, and white ain't right.
Also, I don't drink, so that helped too.
Yeah, the booze face, it can really age you, you know. So now, I mean, just because we have limited time, you're doing the clubs. I'm just curious, when's the first time it became your job? Like, okay, I'm a stand-up, and that's how I earn money. I don't need any side hustle. How long?
Well, I had child support. They were coming after me, and they were garnishing my paycheck, so I was making half. So that kind of helped me decide to quit my regular job since I wasn't making no money anymore at my regular job.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So I just went straight to doing stand up, and then like in '96, they were doing this big stand up show in San Antonio, Texas. Some guy named Jeff Valdez and the owner of the River Center Comedy Club, Kylene and Jeff Borshaw. I don't know their names, but they produced a show for Showtime called the Latino Laugh Festival, hosted by Daisy Fuentes and Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah.
They try to grab all the Latino comedians they can find, and I was one of the younger ones that actually auditioned for the show and got it. I met comedians there who I didn't know were Latino, like Greg Giraldo and John Mendoza.
Was Giraldo? I didn't know
those
that.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know Greg. I was very shocked to see John Mendoza because I always thought he was Irish, but I guess he's Puerto Rican and Irish. And he was one of my favorite comics.
And Paul Rodriguez was the original Latino comic, at least at the Improv. You know, he was
or the store.
It was.
The American Express card. What did he bring? A knife with him?
Consequently, Paul Rodriguez always starts off his sentences with a big word, so they're gonna be like, consequently.
Consequently.
That's a huge over their head. I was the first one I heard say stuff like that. You can laugh now, but my cousin Julio is stealing your hubcaps.
Yeah.
That brought down the house at the Improv in 1985.
Yeah, man. I remember the first time I saw him was in a glimpse of television before I wanted to be a comedian. My dad was like, he would change the channels from CBS, Dukes of Hazzard, all the way back to the UHF channel 34. But he could go left, just go left and boom, he's there, right? He's there, boom, he'll be at channel 34.
Yeah,
he'd like to mess with us, and he'll turn the knob on to see all the channels, so we could see everything we're missing. So what
UHF.
I was like Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie, pointing like this. Whoa, wait. Don't change it. Mexican on TV. And Paul Rodriguez, he was doing his set on that show, A.K.A. Pablo. He said the bit was, he goes, I remember when my family came over from Mexico, it was 17 of us in an inner tube. And we were singing, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move.
Killed.
Yeah, he always killed. So last comic standing, you make your way, you're going through the clubs, you're doing well, and then something happens. It's a big moment, right? Winning.
Oh, yeah, man. When I won that comic standing, it was $250,000. And my son's mom fought for child support the next day.
Oh, they wanted a little slice, wet the beak.
The last baby mama standing.
Dude, she's like, we won.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Daddy's funny. We're going to get a swimming pool.
Finally, he's responsible.
Yeah, well, that's a big one to win that. And then Last Comic Standing. Is that the one? I think Todd Glass, you don't remember this, but.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Peter Ingalls, the producer of the Last Comic Standing and Saved by the Bell. He passed away, I think, a week ago.
Oh.
Okay, well, get that shout out to him somehow. And also, so you get that. Now, what are you? Are you immediately a headliner or were you already a headliner?
Yes. As soon as I win Last Comic Standing, we go on a 80-city tour all over America.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
That's tough.
We're hitting
and you headline?
Inglewood, Pennsylvania, bro. Places I only hear in songs.
Yeah. Traffic reports. You wait. Yeah. How do you do it? Do you go with some other like runners up and you're like the headliner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All the other people that were on the show, I think it was Mike DiStefano, Roy Woods Jr., Mike Kaplan, and the other guy who was second place, Tommy Johnigan. We all went on tour. We all were doing 20 minutes on stage for 80 cities. on a tour bus.
Was it a bus? Okay, a bus. Wow.
Those guys are good too.
Airplane.
Does anyone start getting too good on the trip? Like, or do they rotate you, or you always headlining?
Everybody. It was the order how we won. So I was always last.
Shit, that's tough.
Literally the last comic standing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did anyone kill before you? And as you're crossing onto the mic to close the show, they just kind of say to you, "Follow that, motherfucker." Did that ever happen?
Yes. You know what? What was saving me from that was there was an intermission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
So
got
Mike
lucky.
Stefano, he was murdering. He passed away also.
God bless him.
He had HIV, and on the show he had HIV also, and he was an ex-heroin addict, so he was all messed up. But he ended up. I thought he was my biggest competition because he was likable on stage, and his type of comedy is very popular now. So he was doing a lot of dark comedy back then.
Yeah.
That's kind of it's like acceptable now, and he was likable, and I really thought he was gonna win. But this guy was murdering, bro. Like when we did San Francisco, we did the Fillmore. I remember him saying, I knew there was a lot of gays in San Francisco, but goddamn, I tripped over a dick on the way in here, and everybody's going crazy.
Yeah.
And he would say stuff like, oh man, I got into a fight with a Guatemalan guy, and he said, "Fuck you, I'm not Guatemalan." He goes, I'm Puerto Rican. Listen, motherfucker, I'm not anthropology. I don't know what the fuck you say.
When you go on these tours, so you get $250 to win, and do you get a set fee every night as part of your deal to tour, or is it part of your $250? Because you guys should make some money.
We had it was $250,000 for the winning the show, plus whatever they were giving us to headline was $3,000 for me. Some show $3,000 for one show.
$3,000 a night.
Oh, so you're playing pretty big rooms. Good. You're playing theaters. 2,000 seats. Okay.
Places that a normal comic headlining by himself will probably make 52,000 maybe.
Oh shit.
Yeah, some of the places were 3,000 seaters, 4,000 seaters. They're all sold out.
And you're only getting 3, but so they're going to make some money too.
Plus,
normally you'd make a lot.
So that's
more.
Another 240,000. On top of the 250 pre-tax, you're looking just south of 500K.
Yeah, and also I had a development deal with NBC that went nowhere.
Oh,
but you get paid up front for that, right?
Yeah,
that's nice. It's nicer if they find a show for you, but yeah. That's for the people at home. They give you money up front to hold you for a year to maybe find a show for you, something like that.
Yeah, I had a TV deal with a comedian named Dustin Ibarra with ABC, and they paid us money not to. It's funny. I never thought that they'll pay you money not to work and pay you money for saying no.
Yes, they call it a holding deal. They take you off the field. Now, by the way, a little birdie told me, a gentleman told me that you had a run-in with Eddie Murphy. What was that? What was that about?
Oh man, I was on a set of You People, Jonah Hill movie.
Jonah Hill,
recent,
yeah.
And Eddie Murphy, we're like in a stripper scene in Hollywood, a bunch of strippers. And man, one of those strippers in the movie was an actual stripper. She ended up giving somebody a lap dance for $2,000 on a set when nobody was around. Horny ass bitch.
Horny ass bitch. That's a special name. That's your next special.
Yeah, man. So Eddie Murphy walks in and he looks right at me and he goes, "Man, you're a funny motherfucker, man." And I'm like, "Oh man, just shitting myself." And I forgot. I had one line in the movie and I forgot it when he told me that.
So,
so he knew you. That's great.
Yeah, Eddie is. Yeah, he's cool.
And then the next day, Jonah Hill comes up to me. "Hey man, wasn't that rad the way Eddie Murphy told you were funny in front of everybody?" Wasn't that rad? And then that was cool.
Wasn't that rad?
And then Andrew Schultz, he mentioned on his podcast that was cool. And the director of the movie came up to me and said that was cool. And then the next day he comes back to do the same scene and he tells me hello only. not everybody, just telling me hello now.
Whoa.
And then the next day, same thing. Then I'm getting paranoid, you know. I'm like, okay, man, you're trying to get everybody in this set to hate me now.
Yeah, I'm not liking you already because of this.
Hey,
story.
Eddie, could I get a "you're a funny motherfucker" just to start the day? You don't have to do it, but if I could get a "hey, you're a funny motherfucker."
No, you go, tell this guy he's okay too.
He has like 3 people that look like him on the set. I don't know, like, you got to be nice to
Really,
everybody
because of
that
a
height.
fear of being shot or something. He's got lookalikes.
Yeah, he has
like stand-ins and
he has
wide shot guys.
When you read the lines to Eddie Murphy, like he's reading lines to you, but when it's your turn to get the camera, he leaves, and then you get a stuntman.
Oh, they get the other guy.
Oh, really? That's kind of a movie star move. Catch you all later. So
he gets to do that. That's
so okay. Now we're at a point where this is pretty. You've done a lot since 2017. Yeah. These four specials in 7 years. The current one on Netflix right now, Raging Fool. And by the way, I just want to ask you something stylistically and when it started, because I really like the way you move on stage. Like you're telling jokes and you're moving forward, and then you're moving backward, and then a lot of guys go side to side or just stick to the mic. But there's this little kind of physical thing you do, almost like a boxer. You kind of back up, you come in, you land it, and then you do this move back. It's pretty cool to watch. It's a little bit like you're dancing up there. So when did that come in? Or was it just someone pointed it out to you, or you just do it organically?
I was nervous before. When I was on Last Comic Standing, I had a coat with a little tiny tie, and I had a pocket, and I used to always hold on to the pocket and move it like this. Mm-hmm. You know the way Rodney Dangerfield go, hey.
Yeah.
I get like no respect.
I was an ugly baby. I tell you, when I was born, the doctor slapped my mother. Hey, we love him. So from nervousness, you did that, and now that you're confident, you just sort of kept it as a signature in a way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, I try not to do it so much because I feel like if I know the joke is funny, I start moving fast, like I'm like a pitcher giving away his knuckleball.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have our way. David,
it's funny when you got a bit in your act that you know is going to kill, or you think it is. You give it a big wind up, it doesn't work. You go, what the fuck?
I think you stay quiet. You slow down when your punchline is going to come. I feel like when the big punchline is going to come, maybe with your perfect timing, you do your stand-up timing. But I noticed that you start to get a little quiet, and then there's like a big explosion.
David will modulate that way, and he's never thirsty up there, as the people would say.
No,
he's
and
very.
There's so many, like, I remember watching your Young Comic show when you're doing the special. You said you saw U2, and you had little bullshit seats right here, but you were way over there, and they were you didn't know what the fuck they were saying.
Oh, he was yelling "No war," and I was yelling "No more." I didn't know what he meant.
And like, there's so many, like, oh man, not as a comic like me, like, there's so many tags left. There's more to the joke you could have done.
Oh yeah, I kept going.
He takes a shit out of
my
stuff.
favorite one is, oh man, a woman. She was a sharp pain in her hand while she's doing dishes. 6 miles away, her daughter is giving somebody a hand job.
A hand job. Oh my God, that was Time Life Books. A woman doing the dishes feels a cramp in her hand.
I feel like you may have been.
That's great. That's a great memory.
What a
Good
memory.
job.
I mean, you're kind of maybe influenced by Dave in the sense that you have a high ratio of laugh points and punchlines in your stories. Like boom, boom, boom. Consistently, and David does tell a story, but just subtly starts building all the punchlines. The masseuse bit you're doing.
If you can have little tent poles in it before you get to like the big ending, it keeps them around. That's the hard part, though.
Like I have one of my specials, because I remember I saw a woman with a tattoo, and she had a Ouija board tattoo, like a Ouija board tattoo in her back. It was very dark, and I was like, oh man. Imagine being, well, who am I? What's my name? You gotta hold her back, like, all right, let's find out, bitch. Who the fuck you are?
Why does it have to be, bitch? Who the fuck you are? It can't be. Hi, ma'am. Let's check this out. But Yeah, that was so. Good Lord, I don't know.
Look at this. I'm looking at everything. Well, you did
A lot.
It's nice to meet you finally, and this is great. And thank you for coming on. Look at you got so much. 4 specials is a lot.
I remember you when I remember like when I was bummed out about, oh man, they're not fucking headlining me. Or you know when you go to the 12-year mark when you see all your friends making it and you're not headlining.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember you said, David, that you had to leave the Tempe Improv and go make it so Dan Muir could headline you.
God, the old, because I'm from Tempe. It was even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't, but sometimes, you think you have longer material and it's not as good. You think you've got an hour and other people like, I don't think you do. And so, you have to be a little harder on your material. So you go, I got a good, because you can do a great hour and the next time you can do your set and it's like 46 because you didn't get as many laughs. You're like, oh shit, I don't think I have. And the waitresses are putting down the checks. Oh. And you're like, oh, I got 1 minute left. Wait a second.
They're doing math during your closer.
Oh,
it's
the checks are the
fucking checks.
Yeah.
20%. Give it to me. I'll do the math.
Checks go out right toward the end of your act, and then you get like a built-in lull while they try to figure out who's paying for the potato skins. That's a hard one. You got to get past that when you're a headliner. You're like, shit, I got to stay alive during this.
Jesus. Or the comedian before you bring an opener that's a killer.
Oh, yeah. They give you an opener and a middle that kills. When you do good as a middle, that was my problem is I was doing good as a middle going, I could headline, and then I'm following a good middle, which is hard. And also you got the checks to deal with. And you're like, oh, shit, I don't think I'm ready for that.
Then you realize you picked up on more chicks as a middle hanging out by the bathroom than a headliner.
Oh, that's true. You just got to hang in. You stand by the door when everyone leaves. Hey, did you like the middle? All right. Well, thank you, Felipe.
Well, just for 1 minute, because he'll be listening to this. We have a mutual friend. So Larry Bubbles Brown, who's the famous San Francisco comedian who I've known for years, really good friends, tours with Felipe, offered him a lot of opening spots. And he's someone with he sort of plays a sad sack character. And after each line, I lost my identity, or someone stole my identity. Now they can't get laid. So let me give you how do you do it? How do you do his meh?
Ma.
Ma.
There's another one. I forgot how he says. I don't know. I can't remember his jokes right now. There's another guy that's friends with him. Mm-hmm. He's from Minnesota, and the other kind of like similar. He's more darker. His name is Chuck Bartel.
And he's dark.
Opens up for Tom Papa sometimes.
Oh, Tom Papa.
But this guy, Chuck Bartel, he has no social media. Like, you can't even find him, but he has very dark humor. He has a joke where he says that, what did he say? I got kicked out of a Chinese restaurant I forgot my reading glasses. And I went to a Chinese restaurant. They kicked me out for squinting.
ChuckBartel.com. Check him out.
Yeah, find him.
Murr.
So anyway,
are you afraid about Murr? I took him with me to. I took me with me to open up in Hawaii at the Blue Note, and the whole time we were there, he had a hernia.
Well, he still has the hernia. He's afraid to get surgery, right?
But I'll be with a hooker anytime, Murr.
I got a hernia. All right. Thanks, Felipe.
Thanks, Felipe.
Thanks for having me.
This has been a presentation of Audacy. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all this stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss Berman of Audacy, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman.